Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today, na Friday, number 18 day for this number 11 month for the year 2022. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief of the Ambazonia Defense Forces and the Spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, aka Sense Pass King, una own countryman. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where they speak the truth, where they bring una meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we work for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, we start today with hope alive and vindication for Ambazonians as the United Nations Human Rights Working Group it declares the detention for Ayuk Tabe and co and all the political prisoners of Ambazonia in La Republique du Cameroon are illegal and they should be released immediately.
Human Rights Working Group has called for the immediate and unconditional release of the separatist leader Julius Ayuk Tabe and his co-accused. The decision was adopted by the working group on arbitrary detention at its 94th session. According to the UN, the detention of the separatist leader and his co-detainees is arbitrary. Vanessa Mafokeng.
So the news it come after the Nigerian Supreme Court also then make the same declaration declaring the detention of Seseko and co as illegal and even granting them compensation. This one it come now for the international fora for once more validate the Ambazonian their claim, say this one it will be a kidnapping, it will be a rendition, it will be an illegal act against Ambazonians carried out by Nigeria and Cameroon. United Nations Working Group now some committee where they be created for United Nations. This committee it dinner for their headquarters and it make recommendation them for the General Assembly and it make declaration them where it be seen as law, as a thing where it be right. They monitor this particular committee, they monitor arbitrary arrests and detention across the world. This committee for the United Nations na a body way be independent. It get na independent expert them for the shidong for see how the war it implement the international convention them for civil and political rights we all the member them for United Nations they be done sign them. This committee they shidong 1 or 2 times every year for look into issue them way it happen across the globe. Then after the expert them way them for they come up for all the different continents for the war. They go shidong and their decision they always seen as being fair and in line with the international law we dey for the United Nations. Their recommendation them and the declaration they see as a standard for international law or a complete interpretation of international law for the question way be. For this case for Ayuk Tabe, it shows say the war according to the law for the war. This detention it be arbitrary. So they're supposed to release Seseko them immediately. So if La Republique it work according to international law, they're supposed to release Seseko them immediately. But we know say La Republique na country way, na a rook country as we don't talk, na a criminal nation with a regime where they no care about international law. They never first respond for the one for Nigeria. This committee also, for the sake of information for our people, they also talk about one Egyptian activist where they don't catch it to put them for prison for a long time. For people where they follow international law, they know about Allah Adel Fattah. Now some Egyptian way, na they get British nationality where they be done catch it to for activism there for Egypt, then lucky for a long time. He did for BBC every day. This man he do hunger strike. A case to become for they don't talk to me Egypt government it release it. Egypt government too, it don't shidong just close him up. So usually decision like this, they could put them for United Nations General Assembly. If some country they for the way it carry them up, if La Republique they not take action, another country if he carry the thing up, bring them for table for talk for General Assembly, say La Republique it broke law for international country for international community, they need a year 12. So na say they We could continue to monitor the issue. This one another vindication for Ambazonia for show the war say na Cameroon be illegal, na Cameroon be a criminal state. We will continue to push, and we believe in self-defense as the only way for secure the release of all our political prisoners. And we welcome and we celebrate this adoption of this call for the release of Comrade Julius Ayuk Tabe. Fellow Ambazonians, we go turn for the capital city for Bamenda. As we now see video footage, they come for GTHS for Bamenda, when a technical college. They call our school and say Canada, because that school will be built by Canada. When Jongu Foncha them, they be done fight very much. Say me this school it come. It did like a vocational school, but with this one, it be very comprehensive. They teach picking them technical education. They get one of the best Ambazonians, technicians and engineers that they work now for day. They train our own engineer them. During this period, a lot of people they don't contact with for ask and say, how come for Bamenda where all government colonial school they don't close? How come GTHS they still go on and will never close them? The thing that say the policy for education na evolving too. It get principle the way the Ambazonian Governing Council did adopt them. We also get some passive approach when it comes for certain technical issues. For example, we be done talk last year, we be allow the Ambazonian school them, community school them, me then go for area where it not be absolutely under our control for to take foreign exam for GCE and for common entrance. We be allow that particular movement for our picking them and go take that exam. Out of school, they will put them for Benjamin. They should not for outside and take exam. Those are strategic decisions. Would take decision based on our capacity and would build the capacity as well. Would ban certain things based on principle. So the question where they come about this particular school would then get a passive approach towards this specific school. Now the only school would then get a passive approach. That means it will never allow me go, but would then decide to close our eyes. But would then instruct parents the way they don't call and the students they say make no man you know go for school with a uniform. So they picking them for the particular school that they go for school, put on their uniform for inside their school. This technical education will not be the same like any regular education where they go on. Now the same approach with the governing council get them for the university for Bamenda. Unoba talks to me then open the university for Bamenda. Unoba also talks to me then close them. We'll get a passive approach because we take time for our expert and for study the impact and all the alternative then will be available for our student and our capacity as well. So for people the question me they know say the reason that we were picking the video for that school and they wear uniform for inside that school. But still, the incident for Bamenda it come as a result of Mimi Mefo. When I know say Mimi Mefo na person where it work for undermine Ambazonian nationalism. Recently, it tried for proof for the war say some school they go on for Bamenda when a Cameroon government school. It make several posts them. We know say that this post them where it make them, it make the PR issue for this school and La Republique their colonial terrorists Lele Afrique decide for send their terrorist occupation forces that made them come for that school for come force them say they must begin wear uniform for outside. Me man the Siam say La Republique school it go on. But our patriot them they don't show for inside Bamenda which way they want them for Victoria they don't show them. Then deny for follow Cameroon guidelines. When I remember say they do the same thing for inside Victoria. They send La Republique terrorism then can begin the search picking their school back for intimidate them as a means for put pressure for school and say they must wear uniform and disregard our guidelines. Those picking them even for inside Victoria then stand up for Ambazonian nationalism, they are patriot. So one for congratulate the students and for inside GTHS, make the parents them also begin listen because if the governing council decide for ban that school, for close that school because it be banned already, they will take active measure then for make sure say it close. We're gonna know so we get the capacity, but we put Ambazonia in the interest maximum, and more importantly, the sovereignty of Ambazonia it come first. So just for clear that one for our population, where they then begin the ask questions them, me then get the information as best as we feel put them for outside. The third issue we'll go and now we'll address them today with our public. Now issue would one bring them for public attention. As we know very well, General No PT, the general for the Marine Force from Bambalang, an Ambazonian icon, it can be a big problem for the Ambazonia Defense Forces, for Oko in particular. the Marine Force of Bambalang, it be in collaboration, direct collaboration with the ADF for inside Bui, in the platform of the Bui Unity Warrior. Even though General Nopiti then decided say no go be part of the Bui Unity Warrior, but EDC use the name and it did for the platform, it attend all our meeting them. And when you to the core meeting them, we attend them. So we'll be in collaboration with ye for inside the Bui Unity Warrior collaborative platform. But for inside Oko, we don't get problem there for ye. And this problem them, it don't start for a long time. If it start now when this Ground Zero group, they be declared on lockdown, the ADF will be denied that lockdown. So for the area of our control, we instruct our soldiers, they make them not impose any lockdown. No pity, if be saying his soldier them for inside Oko, an ADF control territory under the Supreme Commander of Oko, of General Bush Rambo, where they run the unit, the multiple units of the Black Shoes of Oko. No pity, soldier they become for Oko, they can try to enforce that lockdown. They no be do their radar, they no be check with our network when they way. They don't always benefit when they come for that area. They enter for that area, they enter shock. Over 11 or so or more amount of no PT forces they will be killed for that particular operation by La Republic terrorist occupation forces them. They be run, they abandon the dead body them. Now our forces then take measure for make sure say we will retrieve the dead body of all those soldiers them. Give them befitting burials as heroes of Ambazonia. No pity, he come back for inside Oko. He no come for peace again. He come attack one of our forward radar bases them. Will be very crucial for protect our people for Oko. Then capture 4 of our soldiers them where they be take radar. Then take them, then torture them. They eventually release them and then seize their weapons them. We don't ask me that weapon then be released. We don't get several meetings there with no pity for ask me that weapon then be released. Both our forces then for Bui, the ADF Bui brigade under Capo, that make the demand, including the Bui splinter Bui warrior group or the ERF under General Maddock, them also that make that demand, say make it return back those weapons them. It don't deny for return the weapons them. We don't do them privately, we don't make a public appeal. We don't decide for use reconciliatory measure for retrieve back our weapons. It don't deny. Yesterday, it don't escalate the situation for some area for a bar towards Bamungo area where it enter for inside Oko. Yesterday, they no pity so that they don't come for day. They can set roadblock, try for block traffic where they enter for inside Oko. And they run go, our soldier then come for day, they open that roadblock. They still come, then stop motor them. Take the motor them, then block road route and seize the driver that key, then run with them. Our soldiers that come for the motor, they not be able to be removed. Our population they be under stress. We don't know why they go choose for escalate and for apply collective punishment for our population. This area of control, our population, they no get no issue. There is no need for this. This is a complete provocation and an escalation that we reject and we condemn with the highest possible terms, and we call on no pity to return the keys of those vehicles so that our civilians can continue circulation and relief and have a relief of economic relief during this time where we pay a high price for Oko, for respect Ghost Town and for fight for our freedom. The no pity forces that as he said multiple roadblock them for block motor the way they come from Bamenda into Oko, and this one it affect our areas of control and destabilize our population. And it's a provocation that must stop. We are making a public appeal to no pity to return the weapons and allow this area of ADF control under General Bush Rambo to be in peace. General Bush Rambo, General for inside Ambazonia way, very few people then feel untie shoe. This is a soldier that have single-handedly destroyed the highest asset of La Republique to Cameroon. The proofs are there to see. He is a hero, the Ambazonian armored car killer. You get 4 Western-made armored car them waiting there for inside Oko today for their graveyard where it can be destroyed by the ADF Supreme Commander for Oko. General Bush Rambo, the armored car killer, for a long time we don't keep the identity a secret. We don't keep a group under strong protection, and this not be the first time we don't come under internal attack. It be the most sorted out general by La Republique to Cameroon for strategic reason. We don't keep it for that strategic reason as well. You go for Oko, you go see the armor card and day for day. See today 4 of them. Each of those cars, it costs almost 2 million. No be just Chinese armored car, and that original one, the way La Republic, if you bring on their body, then they for inside Okufudi. We call on no pity to return the weapons and allow that particular area of control, that liberated area, in peace, so that our population can continue to enjoy their life in our control under our guidelines. For other good news, for inside the Savannah State, for our capital of resistance in Bamenda, the most populous city in Ambazonia, the Ambazonian Defense Forces that carry out an unprecedented daylight raid, a special mission where we be carried out by our commandos. Those commandos then come with their uniform for give pride for our people and for show the level of control we get them. Few days La Republic will be flood all Bamenda, checkpoints them and junction them with their terrorist occupation forces. We will see the need for carry out these multiple operations. We'll carry out one operation for inside the Sisia Quarter, for send out a strong message for all Tongtu people and for they say and be in line with Ambazonian ghost town, and for close their businesses. One Cameroon terrorist, it will be neutralized, the weapon it will be recovered at the scene. We also launch a brazen daylight attack against La Republic terrorist forces. The way they be congregated, they take checkpoint for small Mancon. We neutralize 3 of them on the spot. The helicopter then try for retrieve, then take car transport their wounded. We could continue for make sure say we could deny them that space. The Ambazonia Defense Forces would then put assurance for our population, make them know not only are we capable, but despite La Republic, their propaganda, we are in total control of our city. We will determine where we will attack, we will determine our pace, and there is no location under our control in Bamenda that we will not reach there. We recall all Ambazonians across our national territory to continue to live under our guidelines and under our authority. Cameroon have lost all mandates. They don't have any mandate. They are an occupying colonial force. All the 4 pillars of our liberation movement should be upheld at all time as we march towards our independence. Ambazonian independence is inevitable. It is the reality, and we will live that reality while recognition will come at a later date. Capo Daniel, signing off.